get all this back up. Take that image off. And Colin, your image is now gone. You might have
What'd
to
you do?
refresh. I didn't do anything. I told you it was messed up.
I'll try refreshing, see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Oh man, it just took me to the side.
That didn't fix it.
There we go.
We good?
I think we're good. Although I'm clipped funny now because of that. Ugh.
You're the worst.
I can't listen. This
You're
is
the
what
worst.
happened, guys. This is what happened. Open Broadcaster Software released 2 updates, like almost back to back to back, and 3 updates. They released 3 updates since our last show. I'm gonna fix my camera here in a second, but they released one that was good, it was fine. Then they released another one that seemed like an emergency one. Then they released another one after that, and we haven't streamed since then. So I leave the settings as is because of all of the audio issues that we've had. So just be mad at them. Don't be mad at me, Colin.
Just saying. I can stream now. I can just take over. Fewer production issues.
No,
All right.
It's not letting me do that. Let's see. Let's.
Now you moved. Now you broke me.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm gonna move you down. You'll see. I'm gonna fix it.
Move me down.
I'm gonna put you down.
What a
What? They
mess.
changed this stuff so much.
What a mess.
Oh my gosh. They changed this so much. You know what? I'm just leaving it. We're going like this.
Fuck it. We do it live.
Fuck it. What's up, guys? Episode 25, Frag Logic. Today we're talking about a number of interesting things. We were going to have Dave Lang on. He contacted me. I think he's coming from Comic-Con, but he said that he would be pushing it to make it on the show tonight. So we just went ahead and said, yo, dude, it's not like urgent or anything like that. Let's get you on next week. So Dave Lang from Iron Galaxy Studios, CEO there, will be talking with us next week about Dive Kick. So some of you guys that might have remembered us talking about that is where he's at. But today we're going to be talking about some esports events. That's what I have for the topic here. I watched AGL 8, I think is what they're on. Colin said he watched, the DoTA, what was it, the exact event?
Fuck. There's like 2 events.
2
Big
events?
one. They're running the finals for the defense currently, which is a Toby's tournament from Joint DoTA.
Okay.
There was something else I watched. I can't remember. It was D2L, I think. It was the other league.
D2L.
I don't know. There's like fucking 20 tournaments, and they're all wrapping up before the international. So it's kind of like the run into the big dance, you know?
Right.
All the teams are kind of fine-tuning their shit.
And you told me that Navi's still whooping everybody's ass, which we'll talk about here in a second. So we got that. We got Oculus Rift. That was the image that you guys saw at the beginning with the Frag Logic logo over it. That is basically think Virtual Boy, but
good.
But good, right? And not red lasers of death. So we got a whole little section on that. We have QuakeCon 2013 that's coming up in, man, a week. QuakeCon is in a week. I feel like it's not even in. I feel like it's like, I don't know, 3 weeks out, but it's next week. Literally Thursday is pretty much when people will be getting ready for QuakeCon. So we're going to talk a little bit about QuakeCon. Let's see what else we have here. We have Halo 4 Global Championship, which we're going to talk about that with Halo. OUYA, the devs, talked sales.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And Polygon did a review. And I have a little bit to add to that because I've had the opportunity to play the OUYA. And yeah, just going to talk about that as well. And then in addition to last week, which was the Steam Summer Sale, is that when it started last week? Was it the 18th? No, it was the 11th.
It lasted 11 days, so I think we were a few days into it.
Okay.
Last week.
So yeah, we were a little bit into it last week, and we gave you guys some of the the games that we purchased, and I added 4 more games to my purchase. 5 more games. 4.
0.
4 more games. So I'm going to talk a little bit about those. So let's go ahead and start with the weekend events. I watched, personally, AGL 8. I watched a little bit of Friday, well, first day. Did they start Friday or Saturday? I think I watched Friday. I can't remember. But I watched a little bit of the first day, and then I watched about half of the finals. Some pretty good matches. I think one of the things that I, I thought was really funny, they started off the show and they had Status Quo versus Infamous on stream, and I want to say it's Ryan Noob. Is that what I put in my notes? I don't follow him on Twitter, but apparently he was talking shit about Status Quo before the match, or after their match ended with them, and then, you know, before the SQ match, and said something like they shouldn't have been there, like they didn't deserve it or whatever. So there was like a little bit of fuel to the fire in that match, and Infamous ended up winning it anyway. But I just thought that was interesting to start the day off. They had some shit talking and rivalry-ish type stuff going on. Then we have, well, I'm going to just go through, what's up, Milky? I'm going to go through the top 8 results. Requiem finished first. They blasted through the losers bracket. It was pretty good performance on their part. They beat Infamous, who got second. Third was Status Quo. Fourth, fifth were Pure and BTH, and the rest of the bracket I didn't really pay too much attention to after 5th place. But one of the things that I kind of took away from this event, Golden Boy was there commentating as well. You know, we talked about him, I think, last week or whatever after RTX, that show after RTX, and he did a pretty good job there. But
him, Ghost, Gandhi.
Maven. Okay, Maven was the other guy. Okay, so I remember seeing Maven, but or hearing.
I always
Maven.
laugh because he looks a little bit like Joe Rogan.
He does. He does a little bit. The funny thing about I think the commentator rotation was Golden Boy, I felt like did a pretty good job. There were times I felt like he was kind of lost, just a little bit. But, you know, he had Gandhi in there a couple times. Everybody else was in there kind of reeling him back in and just helping him, you know, kind of with the flow. But I guess that he got some nasty comments from people that were watching. Did you see that? I don't know what was said exactly. I just didn't catch it. I caught some of the things afterwards, like, you know, people were saying afterwards, like, hey, you know, he did a pretty good job, don't worry. But he had a very personal tweet where he said he takes this stuff very seriously, so I'm assuming that any criticisms about his commentating he was kind of taking to heart. So I don't know what exactly happened. I imagine it was in the chat, you know, how those stream chats go, but
right.
I thought he did pretty good for as many games as he's juggling, to be able to just say, hey, you know, I'm going to do this and have a general sense of knowledge about the games that he's commentating. I think it's pretty good. So I was impressed on that front. And then the production quality reminded me of like early MLG. I don't know if did you kind of see some
06, 07 MLG?
Yeah, like
with a bit higher resolution.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was better than I expected, and it almost had.
They had like the team name, the player names at the bottom, underneath the team logos.
Yeah.
And they're even switching out where they were, so
where they
trying
were
to match the team color.
Exactly.
It's pretty cool. Obviously, it's a small thing, but it helps.
The only thing I didn't like was their cameras. Did you see their camera? It was just ugly.
Like for the commentators?
For the not the commentator,
players?
for the players.
It was like creepy night vision cameras.
Night vision camera, and it was
just too dark. Like they didn't have any kind of lights on them, so it was just gonna look like black and white.
I just didn't like that. That was probably the worst thing about.
And they had them on the entire time, so it wasn't like they were switching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they only did one camera, which I thought was kind of odd. Like instead of, you know, the 2 dual, which is normally what you kind of see, they just did one and focused on. They tried to focus on one player, but usually in the camera view they ended up getting like 2 and plus the coach. So it was like a little awkward at times there, but other than that, I thought that they did a nice job with how the commentators were in front and the crowd was behind them, so it made it look like everyone was watching and it was like a big, nice crowd. I really like that presentation for them, considering how grassroots they've had to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The matches were pretty good too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was somewhat enjoying myself. Like, I've never been like a huge competitive Halo guy when it comes to watching, but the matches were pretty good. There's some pretty nice snipes and stuff to keep games alive, and really close games. Extraction seemed to always come down to the last site every single time, pretty much, which is pretty cool.
Do you think that game type is the most viewable currently? That's kind of how, I mean, I could watch Capture the Flag.
I was gonna say CTF probably.
I can watch Capture the Flag, but I felt like I don't know, I kind of got myself into matches more on those ones than the other ones.
It's definitely easy, like we talked about before, is telling a story. So like you get to the last site and it's like, okay, he needs to make a play here or else they're going to lose, and it comes up over and over. You know, like you get that needs to make a play moment 4 or 5 times on just one game because of that last site changing hands so often. So it's pretty cool.
Definitely
I
enjoyed
can't
that.
think of a mode which is kind of similar in that aspect. Well,
well, I can, but not
for Halo.
Not for Halo. I was gonna say, I was just about to say it. I was like, let me just stop that. I don't even want to go down that route, derail the show before we even get started.
Everyone who watches our show knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. And then the only thing which drove me nuts is they tried to like call for cheers from the crowd several times, and that just always comes out so awkward when you're calling for cheers to a crowd of probably like 50 people tops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, cheer if you want so and so to win. There's dead silence for like 3 seconds, and someone's like, woo!
Well, you know what it is,
like,
is that...
all right, cheer if you want the other team to win, and it's like 3 people. Woo!
You know what it is? It's like all those people that they want to cheer, like salty ass, like top 16 players that are still there watching. So it's not like MLG where you had fans of like the actual team. So it's way different.
Yeah. So like every time it just drives me nuts. It's super awkward.
Oh man! All right, let's go ahead and swing over to what you watched this week. I didn't watch anything else. I just know that I knew there was some Dota stuff. And you know how I knew there was Dota stuff?
Because I was fucking tweeting.
Because you were fucking tweeting about it.
I'm getting pumped, man. My character Timbersaw was long ignored by the competitive scene, and now people are starting to realize his true potential. And he's being put. He revolves around trees, and people are even putting him mid where there's no trees. And there's like, all right, this character's the shit. He's gonna be able to handle this without trees. I'm so pumped because he's picking up steam right before the international. So I'm waiting to see some sick Timbersaw plays at the international. Got hopes.
Come on, I'm sorry, dude.
I've also picked up a couple. Actually, I picked up a new second favorite team behind Navi, and Kai P. They run Timbersaw pretty frequently.
So
as well as just generally changing their strats. Like the thing that I love about Dota is people will change up their strats, and when a team like changes up their strats and gets really aggressive, it can be fun as shit to watch.
So wait, here's my counterpoint to that. Teams changing up strats, but you're only liking the team that picks your player.
Yeah, because they changed up the strats. Character.
No, you're like, oh yeah, this team is my new favorite team.
They're trailblazers.
That's terrible, dude.
No, I've actually got 3 teams. I got Navi, Kai P, who isn't going to be at the international. They didn't qualify. They recently made a bunch of roster changes as well in April. And then Zenith is my my Asian team.
Oh, so Navi is European?
All of these teams like pick off of the norm. Yeah, Navi would be Eastern European, I guess.
Okay, that's what I thought. Zechi, we could talk about quite a bit of Dota. Skyless is a pretty big Dota player, so
I watch a lot, and I've been getting into it, playing more, especially the last few months.
Yeah, we praise their in-game spectator features.
Yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, I praise something about Valve every single week. I think last week it was the fantasy players. Did I talk about this on the show? I can't remember.
Maybe.
They added fantasy football essentially for the international, where you can pick players at each position and then you get points based on how they do in the game. And one of the stats tabs in game when you're spectating, you actually switch over to the fantasy score for the match, so you can watch in real time.
I know what it was that messed up my camera.
Wow, you broke it again.
No, I know what it was. I fixed it.
All right. So,
I had to fix it because it was bothering me.
I guess on that note, also, we don't have it in our show notes, but Blizzard announced their dates for the WCS qualifiers.
It overlaps. It overlaps.
Yeah, it overlaps.
It's messed up.
They had the audacity to release a statement saying that they didn't
know?
it. It wasn't their choice. Like it just had to be that way because they picked Gamescom as where they want to do the finals, so ESL could run it.
Right.
And then they're like, well, we just needed to get this done before Gamescom, so there's enough time for everybody to plan. And it just happened to land on this weekend that's been announced for 11 months, I believe. It's like 10 to 11 months now that they've had a date for DoTA International.
Well, you know what?
That, but they're going to run all 3 regions for WCS in the same weekend. They're doing Korea, North America, and Europe all in the same weekend. So they'll be doing it basically at the same time as each other.
Well, here's the crazy thing. I mean, we're in the con season right now. I mean, Comic-Con just finished, which I didn't have any Comic-Con notes. I probably should have, but Comic-Con just finished. Before that, we had RTX. Before that, you had E3. And then you have this little lull right now that we're in, which is a perfect time, I think, to probably schedule something like that. And then right back, August 1st, you're back into them. You got QuakeCon, and then you go, I guess, is what you said DoTA has right now with theirs. Theirs is August 8th through the 11th, I think.
I can't remember.
So that's either way, that's the following weekend.
It's an entire week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Because they're doing group stages during the week, and then the weekend will be the tournament bracket.
Okay. I think I misunderstood the dates, but I saw that Blizzard basically overlaps. So,
yep.
I mean, there's definitely some lull periods where you could do stuff.
It's just dumb though. It's like running what's a good comparison? Like the US Open, running the US Open, the tennis US Open during the Super Bowl.
Wait.
Because it's not really Wimbledon, right? It's qualifiers for their grand finals. So It's not like it's running Wimbledon during the Super Bowl. That might actually be reasonable somewhat because whatever.
So,
but, I mean, the thing is, like, you have a lot of fan overlap too, because DoTA came from Warcraft, where there's obviously a Blizzard following, and you have people who don't normally play or watch DoTA. We're going to tune in for the international if they're all interested in esports, you know?
Right. Here's my question: like, who do you feel like doesn't? Who do you feel like benefits from this? I won't word it the other way.
No
who
one
do you
benefits.
Feel like you don't feel like anyone benefits?
No one benefits.
There is one benefiter.
International is going to lose some stream viewers. I guess Riot. You want to say Riot? Riot doesn't give a fuck.
I was gonna mention Riot, but the other person that doesn't lose out here is Twitch.
Yeah, I guess because they probably would have pulled in.
Either way.
Well, the thing is, like, they're gonna have the same amount of viewers during the international week, but they would have had additional viewers during whenever WCS runs.
Because Blizzard starts a little bit earlier, the viewership is going to start there, and then it's just, I think it's going to get extended. So ultimately, they're going to be the ones that win out on this versus the viewers, because that'd be shitty. I don't like watching 2 streams at once. I've done that before. I mean, I've done that multiple times.
Can't follow it. Especially
it's really hard to follow.
Well, with either game, with StarCraft or DoTA, it's really hard to follow 2 games at once.
Yeah, I mean, if you miss 5 minutes or something, that's huge for either of those games. So
especially with the replay thing like MLG streams used to have, where you can just rewind it. Like, that was nice.
Yeah, but
you don't have that on Switch.
Nobody wants to rewind. Nobody wants to make that feature built into their game. Maybe Valve will.
It sucks. I'll be watching the international.
I have Oculus Rift.
I think the WCS qualifiers has like 2 non-Korean players. Some ridiculous amount. Like, I think the North American qualifier has almost all Koreans.
Why can't we be good at these games? Why, America?
It's all right. I think with With Dota, we got a chance. Over time.
Why can't we be good at these games? I'm sick of it.
That's right.
Where's
Gears of War and Halo down?
Where's Team 3D at when you need them? Alright, so...
Not just the US Dota, but non-Korean Dota. Non-Chinese Dota has a chance.
Thoughts on the Oculus Rift. So what the Oculus Rift is basically Virtual Boy. Just better. 3D. But I've been following this. You know, I've always been a person that, and you guys have heard me multiple times talk about like the Wii, the Wii U, just really gimmicky stuff, the Kinect. Like I'm not buying it yet. Like I'm not sold. I've tried them. There's no games being developed for them that are worthwhile, that are meaningful. No developers are really sinking their time and effort into it because it's not worth the time investment right now for the developers to even sink any money into that. I think we initially, perhaps, and then people kind of got over it, you know. But with the Oculus Rift, I'm kind of wondering now if it's finally catching up, if it's finally here, if like we're really going to be immersed in virtual reality, so to speak. And the game that really caught my attention before any of the others, you said Team Fortress was the first one, Colin, but yeah. I was more interested when they said Quake, the classic Quake, was modded to work with the Oculus Rift than any game that I've seen work with it so far. That's Hawken, that's TF2, that's Half-Life. Any of those, I don't really care for them. Once they said Quake, I was like, wait, I gotta see this shit.
Then you watched the gameplay.
Then I watched the gameplay and I was like, man, this looks really, this is really disorienting. Yeah, I was like, I don't know, but I thought it was cool. That's the thing, I thought it was actually kind of cool. So, I'm kind of cautiously optimistic about the Oculus Rift.
The big thing, it seems like they're making it, I think the Quake thing is more indicative of the fact they're making it pretty easy to put games into the Rift and
exactly
just work. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
I doubt much needed to be due to make Quake work on the Oculus Rift, because it was just like, if that was a big project, it wouldn't have gotten done. At least not this quickly, you know?
Right. So, I mean, games-wise, like I said, there's a couple that I've already mentioned. You got Hawken, which seems like it would play pretty well on the Oculus Rift. I don't know. I haven't done it. I haven't had any playtime with it. I'm actually interested in picking one up. And you guys are going to hear me say the same thing about the OUYA here in a little bit. But I don't know what it is about this thing in particular that it's making me say, you know what I think it is, Colin? I think I want to try a shooter on the Rift. Just so I could verify whether or not that it's the real deal. Now, there's been several videos. They showed GDC 2013. They have that on their site. The line. People were running. Like, they were running to the Oculus Rift.
Thing there, like, realistically, in the gaming sphere.
There
was no next-gen consoles. There was
right. And I honestly feel like people are kind of anxious for it, more so than most of the things that we've seen in the past. And I think the games that they've showed so far have demoed well on it. And developers seem to be more interested in this than, I mean big developers seem to be more interested in the Oculus Rift than some of the other things. And I don't necessarily know why. I can't
There's
quite...
also lots of like passion project type things, you know, like,
right.
Hey, I think this is really cool, so I'm going to spend my own free time to port the game I'm currently working on into it, you know?
I just read Rabbit Tricks. This is going to revolutionize the adult industry.
It's funny, because I actually saw a YouTube video of there's a company called Illusion, who actually, I guess, is like one of the major adult video game makers.
Yeah.
And they already had a demo out where you can like walk around a room and look up this anime girl's skirt. So it's already happened. It's already happened. And then I think I saw one where like it was just a animation thing of a striptease essentially. So it's already happening.
But you can't feel anything. It's just visual stimulation. Like you
3D
can't,
though.
You can't feel anything.
Total immersion. Well, almost total immersion.
No, eyeball immersion. There's no difference. I don't know about that. But I do think it's cool that developers are kind of interested. Now, here's where my doubts on virtual reality come into place. And I mentioned that I want to try shooters first because I think platformers would probably also be something that would... I don't know if you would have to like physically jump to platform, but...
I don't see it working without 3D. Like, that'd be... I guess if you're talking about 3D platform.
3D, yeah, 3D platformer. My doubts on virtual reality in general stem from like meaningful games, which I mentioned with Wii. Like there, you can name maybe 10 games on the Wii that I would be like, yeah, that was a good game. Maybe 10? What do you think? Maybe? No? Not 10? Alright, so meaningful games.
Unless you're a really big fan of Mario.
Yeah, I mean all of them are Mario. There's also Smash. Which is to be debated
Featuring
since the
Mario
Kart. Good controls. So that's the thing that I'm probably the most interested in because nothing feels better than real life. If you try to simulate real life, you will fail because nothing feels better than real life. I can pick up my phone right now and I'm holding my phone and I can do all the little touch screens on all of my phone, and if you can't give me that in VR with the same fidelity, the same like, yes, this is in my hand, I'm actually doing this, makes sense, I don't feel like it's going to be as good, no matter what they do.
What you're saying is that you want people to shoot at you in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I need to be able to dodge, though.
I just need an energy shield and respawns, and then I'm good.
Yeah.
and some regenerating health.
Basically, we're good, right? We're good. We're good.
I'd be really interested in playing like Battlefield or something that's like way over the top and just see if.
Can you imagine getting into a tank?
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Oh, you wouldn't even know what button to press. Get out of here, it'd be cool. You'd be like.
Well, no, I just jump. just jump. Maybe I have to just climb, like.
You have to open the hatch, and then once you get into the tank, how are you gonna move it? How are you gonna shoot?
I think right now, like they've been using the Razer Hydra as a control, which is basically just two nunchucks, I guess, from like the Wii. So you just be using all your normal controls. The only thing you'd be getting is like peripheral looking by turning your head.
Why don't they have gloves yet?
They don't have. What you want is a power glove? You want a power glove to go with your Virtual Boy? Are you just stuck like 20 years ago?
No. What are you talking about? This is the Virtual Boy, dude. This is 20 years ago. The Virtual Boy came out when I was like 10 years old. The Virtual Boy came out when I was like 10 years old. No joke. This is 20 years later. We're seeing the same thing.
Have you seen Pacific Rim?
I have not seen it yet.
Okay. They have
They have power gloves?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Do they have power suits or power gloves?
They're suits. But then like the arm is like kind of like virtual glove extension.
So here's where
they charge up attacks. Like
here's where the porn industry gets interesting, Colin. If they make full body suits that work with the Oculus Rift, providing 100% stimulation to all parts of your body.
Oh God.
Can you imagine how much the suit would cost? I'm throwing some numbers. I'm gonna say like $500 for the suit.
500?
Yeah.
Okay.
Full immersion.
Just picture someone standing there like in a gimp suit, like the Oculus Rift over their face. That's what I'm picturing right now.
Do you remember that movie with Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe?
Which one?
It was like Russell Crowe was like the enemy. Was like a virtual reality crime boss that they created, and he came to life in real life. And yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
Someone in chat's gonna get it. I have faith in them.
Okay, that's enough of the Oculus Rift. Anyway, I am excited for it, despite the jokes. All jokes aside, I am kind of excited for the Oculus Rift.
It's currently $300 for a dev kit. They haven't ironed out what the consumer version is going to be. It sounds like.
Probably will be cheaper than that.
I would hope so.
200, 250.
Hopefully a bit better like form factor. Right now it looks kind of silly.
Yeah, it does.
I think like if you look at it and you don't know and you've never tried it, you probably expect it to be heavy and unwieldy. Even though from what I've heard, it's actually pretty light. And
What do you, they need to make it like Google Glass? Is that what you're suggesting?
just something a bit sleeker. I don't think you make it Google Glass.
Okay. Okay.
They said it would be less expensive. Okay.
Let's see here. We have. Well, let's go to the community topic because we didn't do one last week. Chat topic. Chat topic.
I lost that sound file forever, by the way.
I think I still have it.
When my Mac died.
I think I have it.
Hot topic.
Hot topic. Yes. What would you guys like some opinions on? What's up, folks? How you doing? How are you? Chat isn't as popping as
Nah, it's pretty
last
crazy.
week. Any thoughts on video games switching up the old voice actors?
There's been a couple examples of this recently. I think Splinter Cell did that, and Thief is going to be doing that. Yeah,
Alright.
Michael Ironside and Splinter Cell isn't.
How many of those dudes are really old? I don't ever keep track of any of the voice actors' age.
Pretty much all able
Is.
to. They're all still able to do it.
So why not just continue?
With Thief, they said that they actually auditioned the guy who did the old voice, and they wanted to just go a different direction with it.
Oh, they
weren't happy
can't.
with it.
So they canned him, basically.
Yeah, they canned him. And then, of course, the trailer came out, and everyone's like, "Ugh, what's this? This guy's voice is different."
Right.
He doesn't sound nearly as tough as the, yeah. And then the Splinter Cell ones, he sounds way different. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really a huge single-player guy, so it's really hard for me to have a super opinionated stance on this. I do... Like, whenever I watch, like, animated shows or anything like that, and the voice actor change, it always bothers me for, like, a while, and then it's okay. Like, there's probably a good hour transition period. But after that, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know if it just sounds, but like if it doesn't sound bad, like if it just sounds different, I get used to it, like you said. But if it sounds bad, then there's a difference. You guys seen Killer Instinct? Looks amazing on Maximilian's channel. Yes, we have seen Killer Instinct. Talked about it a couple times on the show, actually.
Post Evo and after the Xbox thing.
Yeah.
Opinions on Destiny? I think we've also talked about that quite a bit. We're both pumped for Destiny.
Yeah, can't wait until Destiny comes out.
Haven't seen any more news on that recently.
What's that?
Destiny.
Oh yeah, they've been really hush.
So wait for a release date. That's what I want.
Here's they've had some a couple things come out, but it wasn't Destiny related per se, but I want to say the president of the company talked about Halo, the original Halo, and like why the pistol.
Jason Jones.
Yeah, so that was like 2
He's kind
weeks
of
ago.
recluse as well. So
Yeah.
That was what made it significant.
I don't know, it might have been longer than that, but that was like the last thing I've heard on.
I saw that
Bungie.
right up, but yeah, it was no Destiny news. They've been doing community stuff, trying to build their community site, and
How do you build a community
fans.
site with no game?
Yeah, I know, but they've been trying to build it. I mean, it's Bungie, so like technically they have.
They have
site.
fans, but I'm just.
Yeah, I mean, technically
What are
all
you
the
gonna be
groundwork is
posting
there.
about?
They just started ramping up the community stuff, which
Like-
I'm hoping means that shit's gonna go down soon.
Is there a release date for the game?
No,
So,
that's what I want. Like, I just want a release date.
just give me a release date. Like, say January 2014, and I'm like, okay, let's hop on that, that site right now. Let's talk.
Even narrowing it into a quarter, like I'll be alright with Q1.
What are your opinions on the new Smash characters coming out? Let me see. I don't know the full list, but I know Mega Man is in.
And the Wii Fitness silhouette.
What is their power?
Yeah, the Wii Fit girl.
What is her power? How does that even make sense? She has no powers. How does that make sense?
They gave her powers. Ultra yogurt. Ultra yogurt. Ultra yoga.
Oh, how does that make sense? How does that make sense? Is she gonna have the Wii board? Is that gonna she gonna be like smacking people with the board?
That would be the first use that board has got since the game came out.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah, I really don't care about the new Smash at all.
Someone asked me, I think it was Slaughterific, asked me if I planned on getting the new Smash. I don't even have a Wii U, so I mean, no, probably not. I'll definitely watch people play if it turns out that the competitive community is going to play it. But the Smash community won't play the new games. They'll go back to what they feel is the
and
best
Nintendo's
game out
basically
there.
said outright they don't really care about the competitive crowd at
Right.
all.
So
not expecting much there. I doubt from what I understand, the competitive crowd isn't expecting much there either.
Animal Crossing Villager is in there? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. What? Why don't they just put in, no, he's already in there.
Like Mario, and then they could do another Mario, like Dr. Mario. And then, yeah, let's do Luigi. Who else? Evil Mario. No, Wario. Yeah, we'll put Wario in there.
Is Pikmin, is that a Nintendo game?
Yeah, Pikmin was in the last one, I believe, right?
Were they?
I think so.
Oh, okay. So they're probably in there on this one. Alright.
They
Ultra
actually
Super.
said they're not carrying over all the characters from the other ones.
Interesting.
Basically said they just can't, like, resource-wise. There's just no way.
Why? This is a new console. They should be able to do that. What are they? They running into limitations?
No, they're just saying that they don't have time to port everyone over. It's
They
a lot
got
of work to
plenty
make
of time.
animations and character models in HD. I'm not even like.
That's what they said?
Basically, they just said they just can't. They just can't do it. That's too much.
That's kind of disappointing. Ultra Super Street Fighter 4. God damn. Am I excited for that? Yes.
I don't think it's Ultra Super. I think it's just Ultra, isn't it?
I don't know. Let's say Ultra Super.
Ultra Super. Ultra Super Mega Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. New characters. New old characters. They do the same thing. Smash. Have you guys ever heard about Magica Wizard Wars? Colin, have you heard about Magica Wizard Wars?
I played Magica, just a little bit. I didn't play any of the expansions though.
Oh.
They do crazy expansions. They did one more like Vietnam themed. That was the game where you can cast spells. Obviously.
Yeah, I got that.
It was a really complex game where you can cast spells, and a lot of them would end up screwing over your team. It was co-op. And there was friendly fire.
So, that sounds kind of brutal.
Look up some gameplay. It's pretty funny.
Alright.
Oh, it's a new one. Okay, yeah, I don't know anything then. You want to go into QuakeCon?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Are you going to be there? I guess that'd be the...
Yeah, hold on. Let me get the text up first.
You don't remember what you're doing there?
I
Like,
said,
hold
let
on
me-
one second.
No, I said let me get the text up
Let
first.
me read real quick and see what my involvement is.
No, I'm talking about the chat
Oh,
topic
okay.
text. So, yeah, QuakeCon 2013 coming up next week. I will be there, Colin. And the very first loadout tournament is happening at QuakeCon 2013. Are you
Controller
going?
Keyboard?
What's that?
Controller and keyboard only?
Controller and mouse and
Or
keyboard?
mouse
Yeah.
and keyboard?
Yeah, mouse and keyboard. I don't know if that'll be only, but yeah, mouse and keyboard.
Nice.
Yeah. So
No, I'm not
I'm-
going, which
I'm pretty pumped.
upsets me.
why?
Just
Come
saving
on.
up. Saving up money.
Colin, you can go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You could drive down.
My car, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. But yeah, so first loadout tournament, we
Nice.
are probably gonna do 3v3 jackhammer. Prizes to be announced.
That's CTF, right?
CTF. Yes, that is capture the flag. Thought about some of the other game types, and I don't think they just translate well for competitive play. So we all determined that it was Jackhammer would probably be the best currently. I'm really excited to see new people play in a tournament. I mean, some of them might have played last year if they want a little bit. Some of them might be in the beta, but I think we'll get a lot of new guys, and it'll be really interesting because a lot of the people that go to QuakeCon obviously play Quake or used to play Quake or still play Quake, whatever.
Right.
And I feel like Loadout is in the same vein as some of those old school FPS games. So that's pretty good to see those guys kind of try this out and see how good they are, what they do, and maybe some of the on-the-fly strategies that we see like day 1, day 2, day 3. So I'm pretty excited, pretty pumped. I'll also be commentating.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
Sounds like Rise of the Triad's actually going to be there as well, doing their official launch.
Really?
As well as doing some 12-player deathmatch, like they said.
So Colin, guess what? At QuakeCon, my schedule, super lax. You know what that means?
Check out that Rise of the Triad.
I'm going to check it out, exactly.
I'll probably be playing it. When's QuakeCon? Is that next week?
It's August 1st through the 4th.
Oh, it comes out on the 31st, so I'll already be playing.
Dang. So if you guys remember, did we show that trailer off last week or the week before?
Fuck, I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so we showed off Rise of the Triads, very fast gameplay, some over-the-top kills, lots of rockets and blowing up and explosions and quick twitch shots, very reminiscent of the old school shooter games that we saw of yesteryear. I don't know, would you say I wouldn't say they're making a resurgence, but there's definitely been, within the last 3 years, a couple of studios, with Nexus, we had Ilphonic, we had Tribes come back.
I think it's lumped in with the Kickstarter stuff. Like, Kickstarter is giving a lot of those old games being remade, either spiritual remakes or actual remakes, some life,
Right.
So I think that it's all kind of lumped in with that, which is awesome. Hopefully it leads to kind of a trend of AAA developers going that way.
Maybe.
That's my hope.
Hopefully.
We get to see some more arena love.
But I would definitely love to see more of that. The other thing, in terms of tournaments, we got Quake Live and Doom tournaments. I've tried like 4 or 5 times on different browsers to view the tournaments on QuakeCon site, and they're not showing.
Dual Invitational for Quake Live, and then they're also doing 3v3 Clan Arena, which I think is the first time they've done Clan Arena. They usually do CTF as their team game.
Okay.
Clan Arena is where you start off with max health, max armor, all weapons, and then it's a single elimination, so if you die, then you're out for the round.
I think I remember watching and
That's
playing.
what I usually played, so you probably
I remember watching you playing that a couple times.
It's fun.
So yeah,
it's
that would be pretty interesting.
Skill, like pure shooting skill and positioning. Like there's no.
Does everyone have rail?
You have all weapons.
All weapons? So everyone's gonna pick rail, maybe chain lightning.
I mean, you can switch so fast; it's situational. So there's lots of rocket spam across map. There's plasma spam. You have lightning gun is really huge because you want to whittle them down so you can finish them off.
Yeah. Well, I said chain lightning, but it's just lightning gun.
Chain lightning.
Yeah. I don't know why I said chain, but yeah.
And then they're doing a Doom 2 tournament.
I have no comments on that.
It's probably the first Doom tournament in
I don't know how long.
Like 15 years, maybe more.
There's probably one that we didn't know about.
Quake 3 was like 97, right?
They're still playing Quake 3 later than that.
I think it came out.
Oh, you're just talking about the release date? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 97. 99 for Quake 3. So, I guess up till Quake 3, they're probably playing Doom. They probably played Doom a little bit past that, so at least 10 years, I'd say. Since there's been a major Doom tournament.
I don't know.
I tried playing too. I picked it up and I was like, like maybe if this is tolerable, I might go up there and just play Doom. But it's really... the game didn't age well, I don't think. As a multiplayer game, at least.
Yeah, you know who loves that game?
Danny loved Doom 3.
Yeah.
I don't know
Danny,
about
our teammate Phobos loves that game.
Yeah. I think he played Doom 2
also
as well. Yeah.
So Very interesting game. I don't know what else is going to be there, to be honest. Last year we had Dishonored was there. I played that before the game came out and was unimpressed there, but the game did well.
I saw Recoil. They're supposed to be doing something there. I don't know if you've seen anything about that.
Recoil?
They had a Kickstarter. They're trying to do like a military shooter in the vein of, I guess, Rainbow would probably be the best comparison.
Okay.
But they did a Kickstarter a while back, so they'll be doing something. I think they're right next to the Rise of the Triad booth from what I was reading. But they're aiming at esports and competitive gaming.
See,
which is
that
why I remembered it.
Do that. Listen, and I'm not saying this as a bad thing, because, you know, we talk about esports, but every time that a company, or studio, I'm sorry, a studio has gone outright and said, we're going for esports, we're going for the esports community, every time, almost, I can't think of one where it's been very successful, but almost every single time, they fail. You give me an example.
This might be different, though, strictly because it's a shooter, which is going after the audience that's kind of been left out to dry.
That's what Shootmania did.
It's not the same.
No, it is the same.
Shootmania was horrendous. Shootmania tried to do a Quake Arena game with 2 weapons and no armor pickups. Like, completely didn't get it. You know what I mean? Where this is, it sounds like they get it at least. They're aiming, specifically their mission statements, they're aiming at core gamers. And then they're going to go full mod support and competitive gaming esport features, which I assume would be like spectator mode type stuff. Fine-tuned and balanced. The guys making it kind of have a little bit of background in competitive gaming, but not a ton. So they say developed by core gamers for core gamers with full esports in-game modification support. So
they don't say hardcore; they say core.
They say core.
That's interesting.
So they might have something there playable. I don't know. I just saw that they. I saw him in one of the Rise of the Triad community guys going back and forth.
I'm really not a fan of any game that markets themselves as going after the esports community, because it always turns out bad. Always.
The games can be good.
Yeah, the games can be good.
It's just sale-wise and actually becoming an esport is not
exactly. Because the esports audience is this big. Yeah. Hold on, can you guys see this? It's this. The esports audience is this. I'm almost touching. It's like that big. That's how big it is. And if you try to market specifically to them, you might get some, but the game is never going to be big.
Yeah, I mean they should be pushing towards the like Counter-Strike players of yesteryear, which is still a small community, but they can kind of win that community over, I think.
Have you seen this? Well, I checked last month. Steam numbers for Counter-Strike across the board were ridiculous.
They've been going down too.
Have they?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was like all of them were like at 35,000 last time I checked. Peak, which is pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's good, but it's still not like.
No, it's not. It's anywhere near where it needs to be.
Yeah. It's also split.
Let's see what we got. I think that's. Oh, you got your Halo 4 Global Championship. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about because specifically I just want to gloat about my prediction being correct. When I said that people would be making new accounts because of the way the format is. Since the format was you play 20 games minimum, and then it's an average of your placing. So if you win all 20 games, then you get 8 points. And then everyone who won 20 games has 8 points, and the tiebreaker is how many games you won. So essentially, you can't lose ever. So that makes it so that once you lose, the next logical step is to make a new account and start over again, right?
Right.
So I called it a while ago. Sure enough, 2 of the top 4 players are new accounts. You can tell by their CSR, or not CSR. Their oh wow, I worked on the game. I can't remember the fucking name. Their Spartan rank.
Okay.
You can tell by their Spartan rank. It's really low. So 2 of the top 4 accounts are new accounts. Theoretically, they qualified, and I guess they qualified with whatever tag they made as their second account. It's kind of sucks. It feels like in order to compete, you pretty much need to be willing to drop the morals a bit, and make a second account. You know, and it's
Or a
not
third
technically
account?
against the rules.
Or a fourth account?
Yeah, you can keep going. And it's not technically against the rules. And obviously, they're skilled players because they managed to do it. But there's other skilled players who just didn't have as good of a run or didn't have as good of luck, and they lost, and then they're just like, okay, I'm done. You know.
Right.
So 2 of the top 4 and 11 of the top 30 are new accounts. And then there was another like 4 or 5 that were kind of on the border where it was like, I guess it could be legit, but probably not. So roughly half of the people in the top 30 were on new accounts.
That's pretty shady. Like I'm not a fan of that at all. But
yeah. I mean, it's really the format that's to blame. Although I do like the format in the sense that it's not a total grind fest, in the sense that the tournament they did for the truck, the Global Challenge, I believe it was, that was just how many games you could play, pretty much.
Right.
And then it also encouraged rigging the room so that you can get score and that kind of shit. They did a really good job of eliminating that this time. From what I saw, it was pretty good. You play your match, then you kick back to the lobby, and it searches again. So you don't get the same people, you get a random mix over and over. Then you get 3 disconnects. You can use them, for example, if you lost, you can disconnect before the game's over. Or if you have internet problems, you can disconnect. I saw a few games where the host was just shitty, but you could leave if you wanted to, or you just try and win it. But 3 and then you're done. So I think that was probably a good way to handle that.
Sounds like they.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. Like, it's not an awful format, but it is ripe for new account abuse.
I'm kind of wondering if Bravo is making the rules. I'm assuming he is. So I mean, he's probably thought about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said Bravo was.
Bravo, yeah. So pretty sure he's trying to make it as fair as possible. Like it doesn't sound like they're doing a bad job. I just don't like the idea of I lost this, let me create another account. I lost this, let me create another account. Man, I lost again, let me create another account. That sounds retarded.
There's no great way for them to enforce that.
Yeah.
Outside of like registration stuff where you have to give like your name and address and then they can cross-reference.
I don't know.
It's pretty cool that I saw an increase in viewership on player streams. People who said, hey, I'm playing the Global Championship, I'm 24-0 right now. And then people would all come in and see if the guy was going to lose or not, or if he'd make it to the top of the leaderboards. That was something cool. There was a few streams that had like 200, 300 people watching that weren't Ninja. So pretty nice in that aspect. There has some of the gameplay was actually pretty good too, from what I saw. I was watching Ryan Noob and I think Neighbor for a bit. I can't remember who else I watched. Formal. I watched Formal for a bit.
Alright.
Not a bad format. This week they're doing SWAT, which is probably less entertaining to watch.
I don't know, man. SWAT has some moments when you get one shot and you're like, that was a nice one shot.
That was a nice bullet that guy sent my way.
Yeah. So the OUYA. Oh yeah. Did you see my tweets about the OUYA?
I can't even take you seriously saying that word. It's such a dumb name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what
I feel like they would have an outstanding marketing campaign if they just took the Kool-Aid Man and he just bust through walls with the OUYA and was like, oh yeah, every time. That'd be a great marketing campaign. It'd be great. You don't think so?
Actually, I can see it already. You're like playing, commercial starts out and you're on your couch playing your Xbox and the box red rings. And you're like, oh no!
Right!
And then it cuts to another room and like the same thing's happening and the PlayStation goes to like the black screen with the error message. Oh no!
Kool-Aid Man pops through.
And it's like, oh yeah!
Bust through your wall, boom! Oh yeah!
Throws you at the screen.
or obviously for those of you guys that don't know, this is an Android-based operating system that they're running on. The games are all supposed to be free to play. So picture this. Kid walks into GameStop. His mom's in his arms. He's pointing at these games. She sees the price. They're like $60. You're looking at the price. You're like, fuck, man. These prices are so expensive. OUYA dude pops in. Boom! Oh, yeah. And then on there it says free to play games.
And it says $99. Shit, that's more expensive.
He already bought the console, though. His Xbox 360, that's twice that. 3 times that.
And then the kid puts it into his TV and he looks at the game list. He's like, oh no!
Oh yeah.
Oh no, this game sucks.
That would be the anti-OUYA commercials. Oh no. Okay, so OUYA, $99. That's how much it costs. It is, and again, like I said, Android-based operating system, game console that basically caught a lot of wind from a Kickstarter. They started, I want to say, a year and a half ago. Sound about right?
Roughly.
About a year and a half ago. They pumped this out pretty quickly. I don't remember how much money they raised. It was in the millions. And they had launch delays, launch issues, didn't get things right. And finally, we saw the release of the game, the console to the general public, not just the people that backed the Kickstarter. I want to say like this month, the end of last month and into July. And one of the people I work with, Ty, some of you guys know him in chat. He, that's how much money they raised? $8,596,474. I think they were asking for either 1 or 2 million. So that was pretty damn impressive. But regardless,
I mean, that raised in this case is more purchases because they're sending out consoles.
Exactly. The brand manager at our studio was a backer of the OUYA. He got his in like 2 months ago. I kept asking him about it, to my knowledge, he has not really even sunk any time into it. But one of the things that he showed me before we went to, I believe it was he got his after we went to South by Southwest. But we played it at South by Southwest. There was a booth with a guy that had like a Gattaca. No. Galactica? What the hell is the name of that game? With the little spaceship.
Galaga?
Galaga. There we go.
Gattaca was the movie.
That Gattaca was the movie. I was like, that's not right.
It's a really good movie.
Galaga. Too. Yeah, it was. It was. Galaga, he had a game kind of like that, where you have these waves coming in and you have your little spaceship and you're like blowing stuff up. And the very first thing that I noticed about the game, the console, was not the console itself, but the controller. Like, the controller is terrible. It is terrible. Capital T, terrible. It is really bad. And, you know, at first I thought, well, okay, this is just a dev kit unit. Like, this isn't the real controller. So some of the things that were happening on screen, like the sensitivity was really jacked up. And that could have been the game, it could have been the controller. But I've been reading up on this more, and it seems like it's a similar issue with a lot of the games right now, is controller sensitivity and how it works. So it's really bad. Held the controller, the live controller that everyone gets, still really bad. Didn't feel any better. The plastic on it, and here's the funny thing. I don't know if I mentioned this on the show.
It looks really bad. Just from
last time, Colin. But you want to know who designed this controller?
Yep.
Fucking dude from NASA.
Gotta call him the best.
Yeah, they called in dude from NASA who makes this controller, and it's just terrible. It's terrible. And
probably has good build quality though.
I don't know, maybe, but it's terrible.
It does look rigid and sturdy.
But you know, needless to say, we were gonna do what devs have been saying about the OUYA, and I had just been kind of researching some more stuff, and I saw Polygon actually posted one of the very first reviews of the OUYA, and they just completely annihilate the OUYA. They gave it like a 5 out of 10. They give it a few points of like, hey, it does this well, but everything else, like, they were just nonstop. Like, this feels like a console that's an alpha. Why are you releasing this to the public? That's kind of the vibe that I got from it. So here's some of the issues that they had with it. Controller, wireless connectivity. So the controller is wireless. They had trouble syncing their controllers, and the controllers would desync while people were playing. Next time you turn it on, the controllers wouldn't be synced, so you have to resync them again. Wireless connectivity in terms of your internet connection. You can't play anything online. The connection drops. I'm talking like shitty Like you would not want this game console type of issues is what's in the review. Now, where it shines is the local multiplayer, which is basically where they said they had to play it because online was so bad. And some of the games that have come out, one of them being Towerfall, which
looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome. They actually demoed this game. I want to say I think it's just one dude demoed this game at Evo, and the competitive community kind of gave him some really good ideas about how he can make the game better, and he's already incorporated those, and I believe in the next install. So Towerfall is like their flagship game. It is. Hold on, I have a link here for you guys for the review itself, so you guys can actually see Towerfall in there. But it is a one-hit arrow wielding game where you play locally against your friends. So I don't really even know what would be a very good analogous game to compare.
It's like a Bomberman platformer.
Yes, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice, that was good.
Because even like the arrows, there's like special arrows that do different things.
Yeah.
But in the end, you have to go pick up your arrow too. So if you miss, you have to go pick it up.
So that's been the flagship game, and they apparently, according to Polygon, and you know, after I did some research on the game itself, it seems like a lot of people have been raving about how well it plays locally. You know, other than maybe a handful of games, I think the only other really solid selling point for this, and by the way, this game isn't free to play, it's $15. The only other
$15?
It's $15.
What?
For
$15?
Yeah, he talks about. Hold on, I'm gonna get to that.
$15?
Hold on. It's $15, dude.
You could buy.
Hold on, wait, we're not even there yet. You can't go there.
You could buy 7 OUYAs for that. Or sorry, you could buy a 7th of an OUYA.
Come on, we're not even there yet. Hold on. You're ruining it. You're starting before we get there. Okay, so this game is $15. The other thing that it has really strong selling point for it is a lot of the games are supposed to be free to play, which I think is a good selling point for the console. And trying to bring in, and this is what they talk about, and this is where the perception is of the OUYA, is that this is like if mobile was in your home, those were the types of games you would play. And that doesn't necessarily, that might not sound appealing to everyone, but if mobile games went on your console, that is what the OUYA is trying to fulfill.
I can't grab my phone to show you, but I already have mobile games at home.
Right. So, or your iPad, or the iPad. So, I mean, it's really hard for me to decide what market they're going to end up grabbing, if they even catch on at all. But the one thing that I think is cool about this is that the developers for the OUYA might be few and far in between, have been talking about the sales of their units. I think the most that I saw was 2,000, and that was Towerfall. So I don't know if that's a whole lot. I mean, there's been some other numbers.
$2,500,
which is, he said, was more than he had expected.
$30,000.
$30,000
minus whatever cut
they get, plus development costs.
Right.
Which probably wouldn't have been that.
And that's for the most
much.
Popular game on the device at an overpriced price. Overpriced price.
So here's, and this is where I was going to go with that, is that even on this console where there's probably not going to be a whole lot of people that pick it up, it's supposed to be in local retailers now, a limited selection of them, but they will have the opportunity to make games that perhaps sell well for the system, but build up their brand as a studio so that other, you know, Microsoft or PlayStation or whoever, PC, those communities are like, man, we will really like that game on PC because this is where the game would flourish. And that is exactly what happened with Towerfall. He's already going to make a port for PC. He's said in the article that Microsoft has spoken to him saying, hey, we want to have this on ours, or I think it was PlayStation Network talk, hey, we want this on our system. So I think that's really cool to have that aspect
PC,
of it.
though. Like,
He could
developed
have.
a PC, and if the game was good enough, it would have gotten the response anyways.
He could have, but this is still another thing for people to kind of get their feet wet. Just one more route.
Except it costs. There's an entry. There's the barrier to entry of the cost of the console. Where a PC, everyone already has it. And the graphics on the console aren't great enough to justify. Like, it's not like you can run something on the OUYA that you can't run on your PC. Because it's essentially a phone.
Pretty much.
Unless you have a really shitty PC.
Huh.
Just saying.
I agree with you. I'm not saying.
So all that said, are you going to buy it?
I might buy an OUYA. I might.
I don't get how you can even justify that.
I might buy one.
I don't get how you can even justify it.
See, I have to ask people that have the system if they've played it. See, I don't want to get it. It's $99, which is what we're gonna get to in a second. But it's $99, and if there's some solid games on there that will only be on the OUYA, then maybe it'll be worth it. Maybe. But Colin, maybe. I said maybe. I'm gonna ask people first. I'm not just blindly throw money out at it. I'm gonna ask some people that have it and see what they think about it. Look. You have someone. Who is that? Dumbfounded. He's saying, do it. There's nothing. It's chump change. Throwing hundreds. Colin?
You could spend that anywhere, though. $100 you can spend it anywhere else.
Making it rain.
Spend that on anything else. Not only that, but $100. And now I learn you have to pay $15 for the best game on the console.
Elite, don't do it.
The cost immediately goes up to $115 now, in order to get the premium game on the console. That's ridiculous. You could spend that $115 so much wiser.
I could buy some more Xbox One or PlayStation 4 games, or PC games.
Yep. Or
I could.
Just
so wait, so here's where Colin wanted to go with this. He was like, "There's so much better shit that you can get for $99 than the OUYA. Why waste your money on that?" So we're gonna do
had Steam Summer Sale. You could have bought an entire day's worth of daily deals for $100. I'm pretty sure that on some of those days, all of the deals on the page would have added up to less than $100.
I probably could have.
Yeah. You could have had like 14 games from the Steam Summer Sale.
And been in bliss.
Yeah.
What
Doubly
else can you
so, since I'm counting as 115 now, because you have to buy the best game on the console.
I could get a Razer Sabertooth for under $100. That's pretty good. That has some nice replay value. But will it go into next gen now?
Or you just wait till next gen and then buy something for next gen.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like a controller or a headset.
Like a controller. I could buy a headset. I could probably buy like a Turtle Beach headset for $100. Or a Razer headset. Or I can't get an Astro headset. That's too pricey. That shit's expensive.
You can get some earbuds from Astro.
I can get some earbuds from Astro.
You can get half of a Beats by Dre.
I could get almost 2 years of Xbox Live.
Probably more. If you get it on sale, it's usually like $40.
Yeah, I could get 2 years of Xbox Live for $99. I'm gonna need to, because I think I'm gonna make a new tag.
So you can compete in the Halo 4 Global Challenge.
Yep. I had a friend. He had a friend buy 25 games on Steam for less than $80.
Yep. So you could have bought 25 plus games.
I could play 4 whole months of WoW for less than $100, Colin. There's a lot of replay value in that. That's a lot of hours.
Almost anything you bought would have more hours of gameplay than what you put into the OUYA. I guarantee you. Guarantee you. Yeah.
I don't know.
I bet you could see.
I could buy 3 Xbox games and buy DLCs.
Get more gameplay. What you would have gotten.
Oh man, I could go see some new movies.
Yep.
I could go see Pacific Rim.
Hell, you could go to the Alamo and get a nice steak dinner, and still.
I could go there twice.
Yeah, 2 or 3
with
times.
2
steak. Yeah.
With steak dinners. Dang, all for under $100. I don't
Just
know.
saying.
Maybe you swayed me, Colin. Maybe I think it was the Steam thing though. That was an eye opener.
25 games for the price of one console?
Hmm.
I guess that same logic. It's like 100 games or Xbox One? 100 games or Xbox One?
Oh man! All right.
100 games I will never get to?
Last thing to wrap up the show. By the way, with the OUYA, they also have Xbox 360 and PS3 controller support. Same connectivity issues with the wireless versions. So you can get rid of the shittiness, but you'll still have connection issues.
That sounds like a hardware defect that they won't be able to fix.
Perhaps, until they roll out some new models.
It's not going to last multiple models.
They raised $8 million.
They didn't raise $8 million. They had $8 million in pre-orders. There's a stark difference there. And the press keeps wording that wrong too. That's why I'm gonna yell at you.
Okay.
Kickstarter is not straight profits.
Yeah. All right. Here's
Kickstarter is not
the
straight profits.
Steam Summer Sale. In addition to what we had last week, for those of you guys that missed it, I'm gonna quickly run through mine. I had Scribblenauts Unlimited, which I played an hour. Hotline Miami, got about 20 minutes in. Star Drive. Here's what happened with Star Drive. It was about 1:30 a.m. I got done on a long loadout binge. I was like, booted up Marvel Heroes. I was like, I don't feel like playing Marvel Heroes. It's like, wait, I just bought some new games. Let me go to Star Drive. Star Drive, I booted up, and I think the first thing I had to do was... No. The first thing that popped up on screen was, like, tutorials.
This looks so text-heavy.
And I was like, man, there's a lot of reading. And I scrolled through, like, 2 pages of reading text, and I was like, tutorials, no. Then I clicked X and hit new game, chose my race, and I had to look through all of the races because the way they have the UI set up for how you select races and what's good and what's not is pretty messed up. So select the UI, or I'm sorry, select the race, and then the game loads, and I'm looking at my planet, which was Earth, because I selected humans, and there was a ship and some type of space docking station and one other ship that was in orbit around the planet. And I clicked on my ship and I was trying to move around my ship and couldn't figure out how to do it. And then I looked on the right side of the bottom screen, and on the UI it had some like Age of Empires style building, and I was like, I don't have time for this shit. So I closed the game, and I think I'm gonna revisit that when I feel like sinking more than 15 minutes into it. So there's my Star Drive story. Still haven't got Just Cause 2 cracked. Terraria had the same issue last week. Terraria, haven't cracked that one open. Mercenary Kings just got into early access. This is like the 2D side-scrolling loadout game, because I guess there's weapon crafting. So and it's co-op. So and it's like 2D-ish, like bitrate type of, I think.
Say bitrate.
What, bitrate? I mean 8-bit. I'm sorry, 8-bit. I don't know why I said bitrate. 8-bit
graphics.
Bitrate graphics, 8-bit. I'm pretty sure that's what it looked like. I have to take a look again, but everyone was all raving about it at work, and so someone actually bought that for me. Lucky me. Now, the new ones that I actually got, pretty good deals. Batman Arkham City. Never played that. Supposed to be a damn good game. I'm sure some of you in the chat have probably played it. Is loadout coming to Mac? Yes, eventually. Batman Arkham City. Rage, which is not supposed to be very good. However, the deal, Colin.
It was
the
like
deal.
$4, right?
It was like $4.99, $4.49 or something like that. And I was like, man, this game got some terrible reviews. However, the gameplay in it didn't look bad enough that would shy me away from $4.50. So I got it.
It's not bad.
And then Natural Selection 2, I think it was $6.24. And the only reason I got that is I was looking at it, and the Steam Summer Sale was about to end. It was like ticking down. I was
8
ticking
minutes,
down. It was
pressure's
like
on.
8 minutes, and I was looking through, and I couldn't find anything. And literally, it was 8 seconds left, and I'm like, I gotta get it. And so I just bought it.
I bought it the first time it was on sale, and then I got Sean Wraiths in to buy it on the second time it went on sale. It was probably around the same time you bought it.
So have you guys played it at all?
I've played maybe 10 games now. Maybe
So
10,
we need to
10 to 15 games. Sean's played 7 or 8.
We need to play.
You have to sit through the tutorials.
I'm not sitting through. That's shooting.
It's a complex game.
No, it's shooting. You shoot.
No. You play as aliens, and then you kill shit.
What is
Or
that?
if
You
remember
melee
the
then.
game,
You melee.
it's different though. It's pretty complex. It's like a mix of RTS and shooter.
It's melee.
Also, people will hate you if you're really, really bad.
If we're all playing together, how can people hate me?
I will hate you.
Is that what you're alluding to? People are gonna hate you. Then you're like thinking, yeah, I'm gonna hate his ass. You've only played 10 games.
It's alright. I know what I'm doing now, though.
You haven't played in a while. How are you gonna know what you're doing? You haven't played in however long.
I just played yesterday.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Sean and I played like 2 or 3 games yesterday.
All right, I gotta download it then so we can play.
Yeah, just hop in some games and start learning, and then do the tutorial. I think that's probably the best way to learn.
Okay.
But it's cool because it's a game that does things differently. So I always like playing those kinds of games so you can learn kind of where it goes right and where it's wrong, and that kind of stuff.
Right.
And to me, it's like a good version of Alien vs Predator. Those games. Except there's only aliens.
Wait, yeah. Why did you have to say Aliens vs Predator? Because that was a really bad game.
Exactly, I said a good version of it.
But that has a sour taste in my mouth. Like that's a bad game.
I think the RTS elements add a lot that those games didn't have.
Right. Okay.
Which is funny because the game started as an RTS. The original Alien vs Predator was an RTS.
Yeah. Well.
And a good one.
That is pretty much my list. So what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 games. I probably spent $30.
All I bought was Natural Selection, $6.
Yeah.
And
Wait, you got something else.
Nope.
No, you told me you got something else.
That's it. That's all I got.
Man. Wait, you were thinking about Just Cause 2.
I thought about Just Cause. I thought about Call of Juarez. But I held off.
I had someone...
Made it to the end.
I had someone say that on Frag Logic last week's episode who commented on the YouTube video saying that Call of Juarez was an excellent game. I did a very good review on it. It's like a first-person Red Dead Redemption.
I'll play it eventually when it goes on sale in next year's Steam sale.
You're...
Gotta get under $5. I think it was like $8. It's expensive.
Colin, you bought Natural Selection 2 for $6.
Yeah, that's 25% less.
You're horrible,
that's
dude.
$2 I could be saving up towards my OUYA. Gotta think about everything in relative terms, Gale.
That's a theme of this video or this show. What I can get for the OUYA. Oh man! All right, so that was this show in in all of its entirety. Wrapping it up next week again. Dave Lang, unless something goes wrong, which we will notify you probably at the beginning of the show.
Probably when everyone's in.
Yeah. That hey guys, sorry. But yeah, Dave Lang next week, and the following week we're gonna try to get on Jason Heitman, I believe is how you say pronounce his last name. Squid Sticks. He's gonna talk about some competitive PlayStation. He works with Frag Nation. So 2 back-to-back weeks for guests next week, and we'll probably have some. No, we won't have Quake. We'll have pre-QuakeCon, maybe more stuff next week.
Pre-QuakeCon, okay.
Maybe.
There's
Depending
not really
on when.
a lot to talk about.
I know. It just depends on when Dave gets on. Because if Dave comes on,
we can talk
early,
about
then we'll
QuakeCon
just
with
talk
Dave.
about it. Yeah, we could.
I don't think he'll be there, but I'm sure he's gone at some point.
Yeah. Oh, are they calling out your medical condition?
No. Ask if I have enough headsets.
No, you don't.
You earbuds.
Yeah. You guys haven't seen the earbud.
Got those at work.
Yeah. So, all right. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Have fun tonight, and we will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for watching, guys.